Well, annyeonghaseyo from South Korea. It's wonderful to join your book club today in a way. Um, I really miss all of you and the library, and I hope you're all doing well. I know Bonnie is doing a wonderful job with the book club, and I hope you have been enjoying all the books that you've read so far. Um, when I first came here, I really didn't do that much reading. Um, I don't know if my mind was just like too tired to think about a book, but just recently I've kind of been getting back into reading more, and I was able to read August's book, Burning Sky, which I loved, and so that's one of the reasons why I thought this would be a good time to make a video for you, because I actually read the book. And so before I start talking about the book, I thought maybe I would just give you a little update. Right now it's Saturday morning, or no, it's actually Saturday evening now here, and this is my apartment, part of it, small part of my tiny apartment. This is my living room, which is actually my favorite spot in the apartment. I was able to get a couch, and I kind of have these cute pillows and this map behind me of the world and all the different times. So yeah, this is one of my favorite places to kind of relax, and I'll watch TV and read and journal here. So yes. um, as far as work and school, everything is going pretty well. We do have some changes happening in our school, and some of those are happening now, and some will take place next month. So just kind of a lot to absorb and get used to. We have new curriculum, we have some new ways of doing our classes. I have new classes to teach. One of my classes had 2 students in it, and both of those students went to America actually to live there for a year and attend regular English school. So when they left, there was another class that was given to me, and then an additional class was also given to me because some of the teachers are leaving, so they needed me to cover those classes. So just some changes here and there. Not sure exactly what I'm doing next month. Some of the books will be switched out, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. But besides all that, I love my kindergartners, which you've probably picked up from my blog. I have a lot of pictures of them, and they've definitely found a way into my heart rather quickly, and I love all of them, and I'm so honored to be their teacher and to get to see them grow and learn. They're just amazing, amazing kids, and I have a lot of good older kids as well that I teach in the afternoons. Some I'm just getting familiar with because, like I said, I've had some classes added to my schedule, but I think that we'll get along well, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So outside of work and school, I still love my church, Every Nation. I've been able to make some good friends there, in particularly 2 ladies that I meet with for our international life group, which we have twice a month, and we just will sit down after service and discuss the sermon a little bit more. And I've spent time outside of church with these 2 friends as well. We went to Everland, and we like to sometimes go out to eat, and it's just been really fun. And then you saw, I believe, if you've been following my blog, that Amy, my sister, came to see me for my summer vacation, and that was so much fun. And I kind of got to show her what I do at work, and then once vacation started, We went to Jeju Island. We explored some of Seoul, and I'm not going to say too much because I want to put it all on my blog, and then you can find out that way. But it was quite the adventure, and I was really sad that she had to leave so soon. It wasn't long enough. But I'm very, very thankful that she was able to come to Korea and see me for the time that she did. So that's just kind of a little update on work and my friends. As far as the whole experience so far, if someone were to ask, do you regret going, or are you in love with it? Like, what's my overall impression of this experience thus far? I would say I have no regrets whatsoever. I have experienced so much and learned so much. I've met some really great people. I teach some really awesome kids, and I have some of the best coworkers too. So despite all the health issues I've had, the mold in my apartment, and just kind of getting hurt, and just kind of the ups and downs of life. I mean, I guess that happens anywhere. Was it a little scarier having some of those things happen while I was far away from home? Yes, but God has been faithful, and He's watched over me. He's put people in my life here to help me. So yeah, despite any of the bad experiences, overall, this has been a wonderful experience so far. There are a lot of things that I love about South Korea, and I'm so excited that I get to live here, really. Sometimes it hits me that I'm actually like in Asia, 6,000 miles away from home, and I get to, live here for a year and be a part of their culture and see new things. And I just feel very, very thankful that I was given this opportunity. And I'm very thankful as well for all the support that I've had from people back home, because that, I think, is a big reason why this experience has been going so well, despite, any hardships, because I know that there are people back home that care and are praying for me, and are inquiring after me, and just the fact that people look at my blog and leave comments means so much to me. So for any of you who have stopped by my blog, thank you. I hope you enjoyed learning along with me about South Korea and seeing some of my experiences so far. So it's almost the end of, well, it's kind of like the middle of August, but once this month is over, I'll be halfway done, believe it or not. So about 6 months down and 6 months more to go. And I'm looking forward to the fall because I've heard it's really, really pretty here. And it's been very, very hot and humid, probably the opposite of the summer you've been having. So as much as I love summer and I hate to see the end of it, I'm kind of looking forward to the fall here, because I will be able to go outside and stay dry for longer than 5 minutes. So yes. Alright, so after that long little introduction there, I guess I should get back to the book. And I have my coffee here as well, so I kind of feel like I'm at book club with you. So, Burning Sky. I've always kind of had a fascination with Native American history and stories, especially when they would capture white settlers and adopt them into their family. I have read another book where someone has been captured and forced to live with them, but this one is a little different because you don't really see her living with the Native Americans. She's now back at this point, so that is now in her past, and she's at this crossroad of, who am I now that I'm no longer with the Indians, but my white family is no longer here either. So I was very eager to read this book. I will say in the beginning it was a little hard for me to really get into it. I found that some of the language usage was a little different, and it took me a while to kind of get used to it. And I think that's maybe because she included the Gaelic and the Mohawk language here and there. But after I was kind of used to it, I came to love it. And I think both languages are just so beautiful. And I'm really glad that she included some of those words. And there's even a little dictionary at the end that gives you the meaning of each word, which I thought was great. So yeah, like after the first couple of chapters, I really got into the story, and I just couldn't put it down. I feel that Lori Benton is really good with her descriptions and just her her ability to really transport you to the location of the story. I felt like I was there. I could feel the sun beating down on me. I could, smell the dirt and the earth and the rain, and it was just a really descriptive novel, I thought. She did a really good job, I thought, taking you there. And Willa, or Burning Sky, is a really interesting character to me. She's so strong, but at the same time, she's been through so much. And she has a hard time, understandably, letting people back into her life. And I also immediately liked Neil, just because he's so kind. I thought, like, right from the beginning, how could you not like him? But then at the same time, when I met Joseph Tames's horse, I was, fascinated by him as well, and I was kind of torn between the two men, like, who's Willa going to end up with, because I liked both of them. But it kind of becomes clear that Joseph is too much part of Willa's past, and she's really looking for a new future, and she believes her future will not include anyone. She wants to live alone after what happened, after losing her family. She thinks that she will be safer that way. And from really day one, it doesn't work out that way. There are people thrown across her path almost immediately, starting with Neil. And then, oh my goodness, Richard Warren. Oh, wow. I really hated the person of Richard Warren, but at the same time, I appreciated him as a character, because it really shows the contrast between the different people in life and the choices that they had to make. I guess he has been through so much, and they all have. But you see how you have to make a decision about how you're going to let bad things affect you. And in Richard's case, after seeing so much evil, he really allowed evil to come into him and turned evil, in my opinion. Whereas Willa and Neil and some of the other characters, they have seen the evil, but they didn't let it change them. It changed them, but it didn't change them in the way that it changes Richard. They were able to turn to God and give him all their hurts and their grief, and let him heal them, so that they didn't carry around all that evil that they had, witnessed. So I will say also that I liked how Lori Benton kind of humanized Richard in a way with his father and the character of Goodenough, because they refer to Richard before, all this happened, back when he was a child. And some of it may be a little naive, especially and as far as his father, because I think his father should have realized what his son was up to sooner, but because he was blinded by who Richard was, he doesn't allow himself to jump to that conclusion soon enough. And Sally Goodenough is kind of the same way too, but at the same time, like I said, I appreciate that they humanized him, that it wasn't like he's just always this evil monster. He used to be a kind, caring person, but he went through things. He saw things during the war, and the obviously Willa being captured really, really hurt him and changed him. From that day, he left to look for her. He couldn't find her. He was young, so that was probably something really, really traumatic, and it started feeding his hatred for Indians. And so, yeah, you kind of get to see him before, and some of the things that have caused him to get to the place where he would consider killing Indian children in such a cruel way. So I think by Lori Benton showing that kind of process of how he got there, it helps make it more believable. And yes, you hate him and what he's doing, but you can understand more why he's that way. And that's what I appreciated. And you can take that and compare it to the other characters, like I said, how they each dealt with the evil that they had experienced and all the hurts, and what did they decide to do about it. So what else? I'm trying to think. Oh, yes. Francis Waring. He ends up being a really pivotal character, especially towards the end, because he saves Joseph's life, most likely, by being able to tell the truth, which I was really surprised that he spoke so much at the end. It was very needed, but it did catch me off guard a little bit that he spoke so much, and I kind of suspected that Richard may have had something to do with the death of Willow's parents, but it was still like really shocking and everything. And one of the discussion questions that Lori put in the back was, what do you think Francis would have been diagnosed with if he had lived nowadays? And my guess was that he has some form of autism. So I'm curious to know what you thought of Francis, and what you think maybe his disability would have been. But yeah, he is a really interesting, good character. I think Annie and her husband were good characters, and Annie is a good friend, I think, because it would have been difficult to have lost your friend and for 12 years and have her come back and be so different, to learn that she was married to an Indian warrior, that she had children by him. So yeah, there's some moments where I think Annie is a little judgmental, maybe a little hesitant to accept Willa's past and what has happened to her, but at the same time, all considering, she's willing to do a lot for Willa and to try to help her and make her part of the community again. So I think Annie is a good friend, and Willa's obviously a really good friend to Annie. She's able to help her deliver her second set of twins. So yeah, and Oh, yeah. I really liked when Owl and Pinebird enter the story, because they really play a big part in starting to break down Willow's walls and allow her to love again. And it really was just such a beautiful story. There's so much hurt and ugliness, but a lot of that has kind of already happened, and the story picks up after the war, and it's kind of the time when everyone's able to take a breath again, and they're trying to put back the pieces of their life, but there's still all this brokenness that's left. And I love seeing how God works in Willa's life in this story, and how he gives her another family, a new family. She doesn't want it at first. She pushes the people that care about her the most away. But there are just all these occurrences that keep working to bring her a family again. And I loved watching that happen. I love Willa and Neil's love story. I thought it was beautiful. I listened to Celtic music, Scottish music, while I read this story, and it just really transported me into this world, this time period. I could just, picture Neil's voice in my head with his Gaelic accent, and yeah, I just thought that Lori did a really wonderful job with the love story, and just I, even though I was kind of torn between Joseph and Neil, I am completely happy with the way that it ended up going, and I just thought that it was very, very well done, and very believable. Um, at the end, I'm just even though the cabin is burnt down, she realizes it's not the land, it's not the crop, it's not the cabin, it's the people that matter the most to me, and she believes she has everything she needs because she has the children and Neil in her life again. And I hope that you also enjoyed the story. I would love to get your feedbacks. Maybe Bonnie can send me an email with some of your discussion comments. Yeah, overall, I would say that out of 1 to 10, this book was a 9 for me. I really enjoyed it. I loved the setting, the time period, the characters. There really was very little that I didn't enjoy about it. And it doesn't hurt to play Scottish music while you read it either. It kind of helps with the whole feeling of the book. So that really, I think, is all that I had as far as the book. Once again, I miss all of you. I love you. I hope that you're having a good year so far, and that you are still finding time to read your book club books. And thanks for coming out. I look forward to hopefully seeing all of you when I get back and coming to book club. Thank you for listening to me ramble about the story. And I look forward to catching up with you in the future. So God bless you all, and thanks again, and happy reading. Take care. Bye.